Hey fellow Planeteers, it's Hammer Circle 59 back here with another after action review. This one is a Centouria sector. As I'm recording it, the game's not over yet. It's one turn from finish, but I'll just upload this as soon as it's finished. I don't see anything significant changing in the next turn. So let's jump straight into it. I'm the pirate. I start here in the northwest. Nothing good down there. Run across a good bottle here. Let's jump forward a little bit. Okay, here we go. Turn 7. Turn 7, I have robots to my east. Okay. So I do initiate contact pretty quickly because he sees one of my freighters. So we initiate contact, and let's look at what that looks like. Robots, coffee. I have, for some strange reason, I always ally with robots. It's just a comfort thing, I think. Okay, greetings, Commander Kanafi of the robots. It would appear we are neighbors. My intelligence reports tell me you have proven yourself a capable commander in other sectors. I've also been warned about your vast and deadly minefields. Shall we keep things peaceful? Please keep my location a secret, and I will do the same for you. The voice of the Pirate Council. Okay, yeah, long story short, he's down for peace, he's down for trading and cooperating. We establish a border, and everything's peachy. Okay, so I'm basically allying with the robots. I never break that alliance. As a matter of fact, I never betray any allies this game. It was never necessary. So let's go here. That's his home world. Now, Birdman, I don't know why he revealed himself so early right here with a cloaking ship, or a ship that can cloak. But Birdmen are to the east of the pirates, so I initiate contact pretty quickly with them as well. Evil Empire are south of me, so I found that out on turn 8. 7 is robots, turn 8, I have Evil Empire to my south. 9, Birdmen over here. I try to map out things quickly and make contact so I understand what's going on. Now the Birdmen, some amount of deception was used against them, a very minor amount. Let's look at the Birdmen. Okay. Actually, I don't remember this part. Interesting. Well, anyhow, at some point, I had offered a ship trade, and then we sort of like drifted off on our conversation, but the whole time I was just getting ready to set him up for the kill. Because, well, frankly, Birdman is somewhat of a threat long term to me. I mean, their tactics, I can't rob cloak ships, so their tactics work fairly well against me, and so I don't want them to be a long-term powerhouse. So let's move forward. Feds to the south down here, that's important that I know where they are. You can see now we have safe passage on with the robots. And at this point, I'm just trying to find Birdman homeworld. He's pretty much one of my first targets. But actually, I've now engaged. You'll see this is turn 16. Let's see if it was maybe one turn before. No. Turn 16, I engage Evil Empire. Now, at this point, let's look at the scores. I'm up here, but so are others. Now, Evil Empire not only is down there on planets, but more importantly, look at this. Oh, I had already attacked him a few turns. Okay, my bad. Let's go back a couple turns. Because they had more ships than that. But what I'm trying to say is they were always weak. See? 0 warships, 4 freighters when I engaged them. So it's sort of a double-edged sword there, because I would actually prefer that they have like a Star Destroyer and a Gorby that I could steal. But regardless, we just sort of, once I started harassing them, it was just a few turns later. Let's see, 1, 2, yep, there they go. About 3 turns or so, and they resigned. Okay. Understandably, given, like, in that situation, no warships yet. I don't know what the slowdown was with that particular faction, but that's the Evil Empire. Now, looking at my Fed south of that at this point of the game, once the Evil Empire surrendered, they were also in a very low position. Okay, very low position. So it wasn't high priority like it would normally be for me to kill the feds, because they were just too weak for me to be terribly concerned. The lizards were also fairly low. So let's go. I do discover the crystals down here. Now the crystals, I don't like to fight the crystals, so that plays into what I do next. Let's talk about that. Oh, let's go back a couple turns. Bam. Okay, turn 17. I initiate contact with the crystals. I offer to trade him a meteor for an onyx, which is like, wow, why would you give a meteor for an onyx? Well, it's primarily just to get him on my side long term. Like, I just wanted to never fight him, and I wanted him to like me. And so I do that. Let's look at how that went down. Greetings, Crystal people. I'd like to purchase an onyx. What would you like in return? I have Arctic worlds with civilian suffering. The sooner the better. Sure, how about a Warp 9 Grav Accelerator BR4, Ball 5? Okay. I don't do much BR4s and 5s, and I already had an MCBR in his area, so I just offered an MCBR. Take the Onyx now and give him the MCBR once I head back. Later, we worked out a deal where he would give me 2 Onyxes per MCBR, and we could do that up to 3 times. We only did it twice, so I think totally gave me like 4 Onyxes, I want to say, and I gave him 2 MCBRs. I could be mistaken. But regardless, you know, I do like the role-playing aspect and the bleeding heart thing with the whole civilians dying. You know, you can play on that. So there was dual purpose there: the role-playing and the getting crystals on my side long term. Not really on my side, like, you know, necessarily cooperating much, just not fighting me. All right, let's move on. Okay, so I've located. When did I locate? I'm going back a little bit. Sorry. Turn 17, I locate Birdman Homeworld. At that point, I initiate a plan with the robots to tow a golem. Here we go. There it is. There's the golem tow on turn 22, and I'm towing it. We've mapped it out to hit his homeworld. Okay, now, bam, we were lucky here that this was amorphous and he didn't have even a 1-turn warning. The plan was, though, if this was his planet, I had it set up so the meteor would hit the planet, not the golem. So he would only see the meteor and not realize the golem threat. Okay? But thankfully, best of both worlds, didn't see us coming. And of course, I have one waiting here to, like, I think rob the turn we came in case he decloaks with something. But anyhow, we go in, we take out his homeworld. He had one other starbase, but we headhunted that pretty quickly. It was like right here or something. Yeah. Furies are down here. Now, I did reach out to the Furies before taking out the Birdman. It was a very short conversation. It was essentially, hey, help me kill the Birdman. He said, give me a meter and I will. I said, okay, drop me a location. He never replied. I'm not saying that was a bad move, actually, because I was probably just going to, who knows what. But long story short, yeah, we targeted the Fury next, but let's move on. All right, and I start messing up the feds too. Okay, he never, I want to say he never produced a Loki. Pretty sure he never produced a Loki. So I steal this Nova. I end up losing it a few turns later trying to kill his homeworld like an idiot. I should have buffered it with a different ship, but I was sort of greedy and trying to go fast. And he resigned pretty quickly. Yeah, he's open right there. How long till he resigned? Let's see. It was just a few turns of attacks again. Yeah, it's like here, and then we're talking 4 turns of pretty much no resistance. But all right, so I still got some decent ships in there, Missouri, Thor, and different things like that. But I did mess up with the Nova. Moving forward, I seed all of this, by the way. Actually, all of this, all of this to the crystals. He pretty much, anytime he reached out and said, hey, I want this, can I have this territory? Like all of these, I said, yep, it's yours. This to the south, I said, yep, you could have that. All of that. Partly because I didn't need the territory that badly, and I'd rather not fight him. I'd rather take the territory from other races that I consider more victim in terms of my tactics. But later, when I expressed my later, towards the end game, I expressed to the crystals, hey, I'm trying to beat my record of, 61 turns or whatever, and I'm going to be taking any planets that you don't currently own that we, if I had agreed to give it to him beforehand, but he's slow on taking them, I'm just going to take them. Basically, I told him. And then he said, actually, go ahead and take these ones too if you're trying to get to beat your record. I did not beat my record. I tied it this game. Beat it a couple games ago though, and brought it down to 59 turns. But anyhow, let's move on. Lizards are down here. Okay, now part of my agreement with the crystals was that, hey, you're going to be attacking the lizards, I'm going to be attacking the feds. And they agreed to that, but they were taking way too long to do it. So I ended up just engaging them myself. So I engaged the lizards down here. I'm engaging, I skipped most of the engagement with the Fury, but let me actually break that down real quick. Sorry, I know I'm going all over the place. He put up the most defense out of any race that I fought. Not necessarily with poppers. More poppers should have been used, but when the minefields and just fighting back, pretty aggressively and clan drops and things like that, he put up a good fight, and so I actually ended up devoting less and less resources to the Fury and just slowly going around him and taking more territory, because it's sort of the path of least resistance is how I play it. If you put up a good fight, sometimes I'll just leave you alone. So anyhow, I start taking out the lizards down here, and did I ever get my whole? I don't think I got a fire cloud this game. Oh no, we did get a fire cloud. Sorry. Let's go back for a second. Way early, when I first initiated on the Fury, the initiation was the theft of a fire cloud. Somehow he got a fire cloud from the Borg, and that's how we started. There it is. Bam. Okay. Stole a fire cloud there. Had the robots clone a few of them. I never really had much control over the fire clouds this game, but it was enough to know, or not just to know, but to have, like, for example, here, watch, we'll have him, the robots warp in a pretty decent force this way. We tow it in, bam, there it is, like 4 warships, and then we, from there, of course, move in and all that. So, no, fire clouds did play a role. There was a couple just two decent channels though. It wasn't like a huge role. I didn't have control of them myself, like I said. Sort of surrendered them to the cloning, never asked for them back. But let's keep going. I basically at this point just sweep through. There's not much resistance, just stealing and killing. The lizards didn't have much Lokis either. I think they might have had one somewhere. And Colonials did what they could in terms of minefields, but I'm going around and taking what's not defended, and even you can be patient with minefields and get your way through and sweep and different things. Rebels, they turtled up. They actually defended pretty well towards the end there, as you can see, but basically, yeah, we're on turn 60, and it's over on 61. The Fury survived, the Rebels survived, the Com survived. I think the Lizards might not survive. They're gonna go. They have 3 planets right now, but there's one more turn of compile, so they might not survive. So, what's the lesson of this game? I'm not sure. There was a lot of. I think I got lucky in a lot of ways. Obviously, I made my alliances and targeted who I needed to target, but in a way, I got lucky in a sense that the Feds and the Lizards were not strong, independent of anything I did. So I got very lucky there, and I made an alliance with the crystals, and then I targeted Birdman and Fury, so that just handles all of my counters, right? And then everyone else is a victim. So, yep, that was Centouria sector. First place, I don't know the final planet count. It should be around probably 290 once I compile. I think that's my highest planet count finish. All right. Thanks, guys.